The fork scrapes ceramic, 3 times, deliberate. Cara Blythe doesn't look up from the register, but her jaw tightens. She's counted silverware drag before. It's the sound cheap people make when they're pretending to finish food they've already stretched too thin. Table 7, corner booth, single dad, 2 kids, 1 pancake split 3 ways. She's seen this movie. The diner smells like burnt coffee and old grease, the kind that clings to aprons no matter how many times you wash them. Saturday morning rush died an hour ago. Now it's just stragglers. The man at table 7 pays his check in crumpled singles. Exact change, no eye contact. Kara's sneakers squeak against linoleum as she approaches. The older kid, maybe 11, stares at his phone like it's a shield. The younger one, a girl with braids coming loose, watches her mother. No. Her father. Count coins twice. "Y'all have a good day," Kara says. Flat, professional, the kind of tone that doesn't invite conversation. The man nods, doesn't smile, doesn't apologize, just gathers his kids and leaves. She waits until the door chimes before clearing the table. The receipt sits face up. Bill total, $11. Tip line, blank, 0. Not even $1, not even quarters left behind like an afterthought. Her jaw tightens. "Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Be honest, have you eaten today? What did you have? Tell me that, your location and the time. And if you're new, help me prove something wrong. My mother said drill stories would never reach 10,000 subscribers. But stories like this deserve to be heard. So don't leave without subscribing. It feels empty when you come in and leave without saying a word." Now, let's continue. Kara stacks the plates hard enough that Bryce, the shift manager, glances over from the coffee station. He's been looking for reasons to dock her pay all week. She doesn't care. Tips matter more than his approval. Tips pay for daycare. Tips keep the lights on when her ex-husband forgets his half of the rent. She reaches for the napkin dispenser. That's when she sees it, underneath the plate, folded, not trash, not a kid's doodle, a napkin folded into a tight square, deliberate as a letter. Her hand hovers. The diner feels too quiet suddenly. The hum of the freezer, the tick of the wall clock, her heartbeat louder than both. She lifts the plate. The napkin is wrinkled, like it's been in a pocket for days. Blue ink, handwriting that slants left, cramped and careful. She unfolds it once, twice. The paper is soft, almost too soft, like it's been touched 100 times before this moment. The first line stops her cold. "I'm sorry I couldn't tip today." Her breath catches. Not because of the apology. She's heard apologies. Apologies are cheap. Apologies don't pay her babysitter. She keeps reading. "Not because I don't value your work, but because today, every dollar I had was for my daughter's breathing." Her fingers go numb. The diner door chimes. Someone new walks in. Kara doesn't move, doesn't blink. The noise around her flattens into static. She turns the napkin over. Taped to the back is a receipt. Not from the diner, from a pharmacy. Timestamped 2 hours earlier. The same town, the same morning. Her eyes scan the line items. Albuterol inhaler, pediatric, cash payment, and below that, handwritten in the same cramped blue ink, anonymous donation, $200, for children whose parents didn't make it. The plate slips from her other hand. It doesn't break, just rattles against the table edge, loud enough that Bryce looks over again. Kara stares at the receipt, at the timestamp, at the dollar amount that's more than she makes in 2 full shifts. Her throat tightens. She looks toward the window. The parking lot is empty except for her car and a rusted pickup pulling out onto the main road. Brake lights flicker once, then gone. Her pulse hammers in her ears. She folds the napkin back up, slow, careful, like it might disintegrate if she moves too fast. Bryce calls her name from across the room, something about table 4 needing refills. She doesn't answer, because all she can think about is the man who left nothing. And everything. What would you have done if you found that note? Would you have chased him down or assumed the worst and thrown it away? Drop your answer below, because what happens next will make you question every judgment you've ever made. The phone rings 4 times before the clinic picks up. Evan Calder presses his daughter closer to his chest, feeling the shallow rise and fall of her ribs. Too fast, too shallow. Rowan's fingers grip his jacket like she's holding onto a ledge, and maybe she is. Her breath comes in short gasps that sound like whispers scraping against glass. "Please," he says into the phone, "I just need samples. Anything. She's 8 years old and she can't breathe right." The receptionist's voice is kind but useless. Policy, Insurance. Appointment availability in 6 days. 6 days. Rowan wheezes against his shoulder. Micah sits across from them in the diner booth, staring at his phone screen without actually seeing it. His son learned silence early, learned not to ask for things, learned that needing makes you a burden. Evan ends the call. His hands shake as he opens his banking app. The screen loads slow, like even the phone knows what's coming. Balance. $11.83. He closes his eyes. Does the math he's done 1,000 times. Gas to get home, $7. Inhaler at the pharmacy, $42 without insurance. Breakfast for 3, $11 if he orders careful. The numbers don't work. They never do. Rowan coughs, wet and rattling, and Evan makes a choice he'll regret in ways he can't name yet. He stands, lifts her into his arms even though she's getting too big for that, and carries her toward the diner exit. Micah follows without a word, shoving his phone into his pocket. The waitress watches them leave. Evan feels her eyes like a brand between his shoulder blades. Judgment, disgust. He's felt it before, from landlords, from insurance reps, from the pharmacy tech who looked at his expired coverage card like it was a crime. He doesn't blame her. Outside, the cold hits like a slap. December in Massachusetts doesn't care about unpaid heating bills or empty checking accounts. Rowan shivers against him. Her lips have a blue tint he pretends not to see. Micah climbs into the truck first. The passenger door groans, rust flaking off the hinges. Evan sets Rowan in the back seat, buckles her in twice to make sure. Her eyes are half closed. She's not sleeping, just conserving energy. Kids learn that too. He sits in the driver's seat and stares at the steering wheel. His hands are cracked from dish soap and cold air, split at the knuckles where the skin can't keep up with the work. He's 39 years old, feels 60. His wife died 3 years ago and took half his ability to think straight with her. The pharmacy is 2 blocks away. He drives there on fumes, parks in the back lot where nobody sees the duct tape holding his bumper on. Inside, fluorescent lights hum too loud. The same tech from last week is behind the counter. She recognizes him. He sees it in the way her smile goes tight. Albuterol inhaler for Rowan Calder, he says. I called ahead. She types, pauses, types again. That'll be $42.17. Evan pulls out his wallet, counts the singles, counts the change. $11.83 sits in his palm like a sick joke. The tech waits. Can I... He stops, starts again. Can I pay half now and half next week? Her face softens, but her answer doesn't. I'm sorry. Policy. There's that word again. Evan nods, swallows, puts the money back in his wallet. Then he does something that doesn't make sense, something that won't feed his kids or fix his truck or pay the electric bill that's 2 months overdue. He reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out an envelope. Inside is $200, cash. Every cent from his last freight shift, the one he worked a double for, the one that left his back screaming and his hands bleeding. He was saving it. For rent. For the overdue notice taped to his apartment door. But there's a donation jar on the counter, clear plastic. Handwritten sign taped to the front, help families afford medication. Evan looks at it for too long. The tech watches him confused. He folds the bills, slides them through the slot, every single one. For families who can't pay, he says. Quiet. Almost ashamed. The tech blinks. Sir, you don't have to. I know. He turns before she can say anything else, before he can take it back, before the math catches up with him and drags him under. Outside, Rowan is still wheezing in the back seat. Micah stares straight ahead, jaw tight, too young to carry this kind of weight but carrying it anyway. Evan climbs into the truck, starts the engine, drives back to the diner because it's warm and the phone signal works and he needs to call someone, anyone who might have an inhaler they're not using. That's when he orders the pancake. Splits it 3 ways, pays exact change, and writes a note on a napkin he's been carrying in his pocket for 3 days, the same napkin he's rewritten 4 times, trying to explain something unexplainable to a stranger who'll probably throw it away. He folds it, tucks it under the plate, leaves. Because sometimes survival looks like cruelty. Sometimes doing the right thing means someone else thinks you're doing the wrong one. And sometimes the only tip you can afford to leave is the truth. The coffee pot shatters against the break room sink. Kara doesn't mean to drop it. Her hands just stop working. She stares at the brown liquid spreading across stainless steel, at the glass shards glittering under fluorescent lights, and all she can think about is the folded napkin in her apron pocket. "You gonna clean that up or just stand there?" Bryce leans against the doorframe, arms crossed. His shirt is too tight, his smile is too wide. He's been shift manager for 6 months and acts like he owns the place. Kara grabs paper towels, doesn't answer. Answering gives him power. "Table 4's been waiting on refills for 10 minutes, he says. "And you're back here breaking equipment." She wipes up coffee, picks up glass. Her daughter's daycare called twice during her shift. She couldn't answer. Bryce doesn't let them take calls during rush, says it's unprofessional, says tips go down when servers seem distracted. Tips. The word tastes different now. She finishes cleaning, pushes past Bryce without looking at him. His cologne is too strong, the kind that comes in a bottle shaped like a sports car. He says something about attitude as she walks away. She doesn't hear it, doesn't care. Table 4 gets their refills. Table 6 gets their check. The couple at table 2 leaves a $5 tip on a $30 bill, and Kara pockets it without counting. Muscle memory, survival math she learned 3 years ago when her ex stopped paying child support and started paying for his new girlfriend's nails instead. Her phone buzzes. She checks it in the kitchen while pretending to grab ketchup bottles. Daycare. "Amar's running a fever. You need to pick her up by 3. The clock above the fryer says 1:47. Her shift ends at 5. She does the math. If she leaves early, Bryce docks her pay. If she doesn't leave, daycare charges $1 per minute after 3 p.m. If she gets charged too many times, they drop Amara from the roster. If Amara gets dropped, Kara loses this job. There's no good answer, just expensive ones. She texts back, "On my way." Bryce catches her before she reaches the door. "Where are you going?" "My daughter's sick." "Your shift's not over." Kara stops, turns, looks him dead in the eyes. "My daughter is sick." He shifts his weight, glances at the half-empty dining room. "You leave now. I'm writing you up." "Then write me up." She walks out. The cold air hits her face and she breathes it in like medicine. Her car is parked in the back lot, a '09 Civic with a cracked windshield and a check engine light that's been on for 8 months. She climbs in, sits, stares at the steering wheel. The napkin is still in her apron pocket. She pulls it out, unfolds it again, even though she's read it 6 times already. The handwriting is cramped, like the person was writing in a moving car, or in the dark, or while trying not to be seen. "I'm sorry I couldn't tip today. Not because I don't value your work, but because today, every dollar I had was for my daughter's breathing. I left something more important instead." She reads the next part slower. "You're doing something brave, so am I. If you're reading this, it means you survived another shift. That counts." Her throat tightens. Nobody's ever called her brave before. Tired, yes. Struggling, definitely. Her mother calls her foolish for staying in a town with no opportunities. Her ex calls her selfish for asking him to help raise the daughter they made together. But brave? She looks at the pharmacy receipt taped to the back. $200, donated, anonymous. The same morning, he couldn't leave her a tip. Kara's done the math 100 times since finding it. $200 is 16 hours of work for her. $200 is groceries for 3 weeks. $200 is the difference between keeping the lights on and sitting in the dark with Amara pretending it's a game. And he gave it away. For kids whose parents didn't make it. She folds the napkin. Carefully. Like it's fragile. Like it might disappear if she's not gentle. Her phone buzzes again. Daycare. She starts the car. On the drive, she thinks about judgment, about how easy it is to look at someone and decide you know their story, about how she looked at that man and saw lazy, saw cheap, saw someone taking advantage. She didn't see a father choosing between his child's breath and a stranger's rent, didn't see someone who gave away everything because maybe somewhere, someone else needed it more. Amara is waiting in the daycare office, cheeks flushed, eyes glassy. She perks up when she sees Kara. "Mama." Kara scoops her up, kisses her forehead. She's burning. "Fever's 101, the daycare director says. She needs to stay home tomorrow too. Policy." That word again. Kara nods, signs the sheet, carries Amara to the car. At home, she makes soup from a can, gives Amara the last dose of children's Tylenol, tucks her into bed with 3 blankets because the heat's turned down to save money. Then she sits at the kitchen table, pulls out the napkin, reads it one more time. Her laptop is old, takes 2 minutes to boot up. She opens social media, scrolls through her feed, sees a video shared by someone she went to high school with. The thumbnail makes her stomach drop. It's security footage from the diner. Timestamp this morning. The caption reads, "Deadbeat dad leaves 0 tip classic." Kara clicks play. It's him, table 7, the man with the 2 kids and the split pancake. The angle is wide, grainy, but clear enough. She watches him count his money, watches him pay exact change, watches him leave. The comments are vicious. "People like this are why I never work food service. Bet he had money for cigarettes, though." 0 sympathy. "If you can't tip, don't eat out." Kara's hands start shaking. The video has 1,200 shares, 4,000 comments. It's climbing. She scrolls to see who posted it. Bryce Harlan, her manager. The caption includes 3 laughing emojis. Her vision goes red. She screenshots the video, screenshots Bryce's profile. Then she pulls out her phone, opens the camera, lays the napkin flat on the table next to the pharmacy receipt. Takes a picture. Her finger hovers over the share button. She thinks about Amara asleep in the next room. Thinks about the write-up waiting for her tomorrow. Thinks about Bryce's smug face and his tight shirts and the way he docks pay for being 3 minutes late but never docks himself for showing up hungover. Thinks about the man who gave away $200 and got called a deadbeat for it. She presses share. No caption, just the photo, the note, the receipt. Then she closes the laptop, doesn't check it again, goes to bed. But sleep doesn't come easy because somewhere in the back of her mind, she knows she just lit a match, and she has no idea how big the fire's about to get. The notification sound wakes her at 4:17 a.m., then another, and another, and another. Kara reaches for her phone, eyes half closed, expecting spam or her ex texting at the wrong hour again. The screen lights up her face, 37 notifications, then 50. Then the number stops counting and just says 99 plus. She sits up. Her post has been shared 2,000 times. She blinks, refreshes, 4,000. Her heart starts hammering. The photo of the napkin and receipt sits at the top of her feed, glowing in the dark bedroom. Comments pour in faster than she can read them. Someone tagged a local news page. Someone else tagged 3 more. The shares keep climbing. 6,000, 8,000. Her hands go numb. She opens the comments, scrolls past the first dozen. They're all saying the same thing in different words. Wait, he donated $200 the same morning? And people are calling him a deadbeat? Who posted the original video? They need to be fired. Kara keeps scrolling, finds a comment with a link. Someone pulled the timestamp from Bryce's security footage and compared it to her photo. They match, same day, same town, 2 hours apart. Another comment. The clinic confirmed an anonymous donation this morning. Won't say who, but the amount matches. Her stomach flips. She didn't mean for this. She just wanted people to know the truth, wanted them to see what she saw. But now it's moving like a flood, fast and unstoppable, and she's not sure where it's going. She checks Bryce's original post. The comments there have turned, vicious, angry, people demanding he take it down, calling him cruel, calling him worse. Bryce hasn't responded. Kara sets her phone down, stares at the ceiling. Amara coughs in the next room, a soft, wet sound that makes Kara's chest ache. She gets up, checks her daughter's forehead, still warm but not burning. She pulls the blankets higher and kisses her temple. Back in the kitchen, she makes coffee she doesn't drink, just holds the mug. Watches the sky turn from black to gray through the window. By 6 a.m., her post has 20,000 shares. By 7 a.m., a local news page picks it up. Viral post exposes the other side of diner tip controversy. By 8 a.m., her phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer. Is this Kara Blythe? Who's asking? My name's Jordan Wells. I'm a reporter with Channel 9. I wanted to talk to you about the post you made last night. Kara's throat goes dry. I don't want to be on the news. I understand. But people are asking questions. The man in the video, do you know his name? No. Do you know where he is? No. Would you be willing to share how you came across the note? Kara hangs up. Her phone rings again. Different number. She doesn't answer. It rings 4 more times in the next 10 minutes. She turns it off. But turning off her phone doesn't stop what's already moving. At 9 a.m., someone finds the clinic. A reporter shows up asking about the donation. The clinic won't confirm a name, but they confirm the amount. $200. Cash. Anonymous. Left with a note that said, for children whose parents didn't make it. The reporter posts it. The internet loses its mind. This man gave his last dollar to help strangers and got dragged online for it. Where's the apology from the person who posted that video? Find him. Someone find him and help him. But nobody knows his name. The receipt Kara posted didn't show it. The security footage is too grainy. All they know is he's a single dad, 2 kids, drives an old truck, somewhere in Massachusetts. By noon, someone claims they saw him in Connecticut. Someone else says New Hampshire. The internet turns into a search party, hunting for a man who never asked to be found. Kara's phone is still off, but she checks her laptop. The comment section under her post has become a war zone. Half the people are praising her for exposing the truth. The other half are accusing her of invading his privacy. You had no right to post that note. It wasn't meant for the world. She's trying to fix what that manager broke. Leave her alone. Both of them are wrong. Let the man live in peace. Kara closes the laptop. Her chest feels tight. She didn't think this through, didn't think about what it would mean to put a stranger's private moment on the internet for thousands of people to pick apart. She just wanted them to stop calling him a deadbeat. Amara wanders into the kitchen, dragging her blanket. Mama, I'm hungry. Kara makes eggs. Toast. Sits with her daughter and pretends the world isn't on fire outside this kitchen. At 1 p.m., she turns her phone back on. 63 missed calls, 200 notifications, and 1 text from a number she doesn't recognize. You don't know me, but you posted about my father. Kara's breath stops. She stares at the message, reads it again. Her fingers hover over the keyboard. Before she can respond, another message comes through. He didn't want this. He never wants anything. That's the problem. Kara types fast. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to blow up like this. I just wanted people to know the truth. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. The truth is, he gave away rent money. The truth is, we're about to get evicted. The truth is, he won't let anyone help him because he thinks needing help makes him weak. Kara's throat closes. Another message. But maybe you already know that. Maybe that's why you posted it. The dots stop. Kara waits. No response. She types again. Is he okay? No answer. She sets the phone down, covers her face with her hands. This was supposed to help. It was supposed to make people see him differently. But all she did was put a spotlight on a man who was trying to survive in the shadows. At 3 p.m., Bryce's original video gets taken down. No apology, no explanation, just gone. But the damage is already done. At 5 p.m., someone leaks Bryce's employment history. Turns out he's been written up twice for workplace harassment, once for docking an employee's pay without cause. The diner's owner sees the posts, sees the backlash, sees the 1-star reviews flooding in. By 6 p.m., Bryce Harlan is fired. Kara finds out from a coworker's text. Did you hear? Bryce is gone. Owner says he violated company policy. She should feel relieved, vindicated, something, but all she feels is tired. Because the man who wrote that note is still out there, still struggling, still trying to keep his kids alive on money that doesn't stretch far enough, and now the whole world knows his business. Her phone buzzes one more time, another unknown number, another text. Stop looking for me. Kara stares at the message, types back, I'm not. The response comes fast. Then tell them to stop, please. I just want to take care of my kids without the whole world watching. She reads it 3 times. Then she opens her laptop, pulls up her original post, hovers over the delete button. But before she can click it, a new notification pops up. Someone found him, a reporter, a doorbell camera, a neighbor who recognized the truck. The internet just put a name to the face, Evan Calder. And every news outlet in New England is about to show up at his door. The first reporter knocks at 7:13 a.m. Evan is in the kitchen boiling water for oatmeal when he hears it. 3 sharp raps on a door that barely stays on its hinges. He freezes. Nobody knocks this early unless it's the landlord or someone serving papers. Micah looks up from the couch. Rowan is still asleep in the bedroom, her breathing steadier now after a neighbor brought over an old inhaler last night. Said her son outgrew it, didn't ask questions, just handed it over and left. Evan wipes his hands on his jeans and opens the door halfway. A woman in a burgundy coat stands on the porch holding a microphone. Behind her, a man with a camera. The lens is already pointing at Evan's face. "Mr. Calder?" Her smile is bright and sharp. "I'm Ashley Brennan from Channel 9. Do you have a moment to talk about the viral post?" Evan's stomach drops. "I don't know what you're talking about." "The note you left at the diner, the donation. It's all over social media. People want to hear your story." He grips the doorframe. "I don't have a story." "Sir, thousands of people are moved by what you did. They want to help." "I didn't ask for help." Her smile doesn't falter. "Just a few questions. It'll only take—" Evan closes the door. She knocks again. Harder this time. He doesn't answer. Leans his forehead against the wood and listens to her muffled voice through the door, something about public interest and community support. The camera guy says something he can't make out. Micah stands up. "Dad?" "Stay inside." Evan moves to the window, peels back the curtain an inch. There's a news van parked on the street, 2 more cars pulling up behind it. His chest tightens. He pulls out his phone, opens social media for the first time in weeks. The app loads slow, then the screen fills with his name, his face, grainy screenshots from security footage, a photo of the napkin he wrote, the receipt from the clinic. Someone posted it. Someone shared his private moment with the entire world. His hands start shaking. Micah walks over, looks at the phone. "Dad, what's happening?" Evan doesn't answer, just keeps scrolling. The comments blur together. Praise, pity, outrage, strangers dissecting his life like it's a case study, debating whether he's a hero or a fool, arguing about whether giving away $200 made him noble or irresponsible. None of them know what it's like to choose between your kid's breath and your rent. None of them were there. Another knock, this time from the back door. Evan moves fast, locks it, closes all the curtains. The apartment goes dim, gray light filtering through cheap fabric. His phone rings. Unknown number. He declines it. It rings again. Different number. He declines again. Rowan stumbles out of the bedroom, rubbing her eyes. "Why is it so dark?" "We're keeping the curtains closed today, baby." "Why?" "Just because." She doesn't push. Kids learn not to ask too many questions when the answers are complicated. Evan makes oatmeal. They eat in silence. The knocking continues every few minutes. Different voices, different pitches, same questions. By 9 a.m., there are 5 news vans on the street. By 10 a.m., neighbors start coming outside to see what the commotion is. Mrs. Pacheco from downstairs waves at a camera. Mr. Raymond from across the hall gives an interview Evan can hear through the walls. "Yeah, I know him. Quiet guy. Works a lot. Keeps to himself. Didn't know he was some kind of hero." Evan isn't a hero. He's just tired. His phone buzzes, a text from a number he doesn't recognize. "Mr. Calder, this is Marcus Liu from the Boston Herald. I'd love to speak with you about your act of generosity. Would you be available for a phone interview?" He deletes it. Another text. Another reporter. Another request. He turns his phone off. Micah sits on the couch staring at his own phone. His face is pale. "Dad, they're talking about us at school." Evan's jaw tightens. "What are they saying?" "Kids are sharing the video, saying you're famous, asking if we're really that poor." The word stabs. Poor. Like it's something shameful. Like it's something they chose. "Don't read that stuff," Evan says. "It's nobody's business." But they're making it their business. Evan doesn't have an answer for that. At 11 a.m., someone rings the doorbell and doesn't stop. Just holds the button down, the sound drilling into Evan's skull until he yanks the door open. It's not a reporter. It's a man in a suit, mid-50s, clean-shaven, holding a briefcase. "Mr. Calder, my name is David Ortega. I'm an attorney with Community Legal Aid. I saw your story online and I'd like to offer my services pro bono." Evan blinks. "For what?" "Anything you might need. Housing disputes, medical debt. I know how overwhelming this can be." "I don't need a lawyer." "You might. If this keeps escalating, if people start making claims about the donation or your family situation, I just want you to know you have options." Evan stares at him. "I didn't ask for this." "I know, but it's happening anyway, and you deserve someone in your corner." David hands him a card. Evan takes it without looking at it. "Think about it," David says. Then he leaves. Evan closes the door, looks at the card, sets it on the counter. At noon, his landlord calls. Evan almost doesn't answer, but rent is due in 3 days and avoiding the call won't change that. Calder, the landlord's voice is clipped. You got reporters crawling all over my property. I got tenants complaining. You need to handle this. I'm trying. Try harder, and while you're at it, you're still short on rent. Evan closes his eyes. I know. You got until Friday or I'm filing eviction. The line goes dead. Evan sets the phone down, leans against the counter. His reflection stares back from the microwave door. He looks older than 39, looks like someone who's been holding his breath for 3 years straight. Rowan tugs on his sleeve. Dad, I'm hungry again. He opens the fridge, half a carton of eggs, bread, some wilted lettuce. He makes her a sandwich, gives her the bigger half. At 1 p.m., his phone turns back on. 82 notifications. One of them is a voicemail from the clinic. He listens. Mr. Calder, this is Susan from Northeast Family Clinic. We wanted to let you know that several people have called asking how to donate in your name. We've set up a fund if you'd like to. He deletes it. He didn't donate for recognition. Didn't do it so strangers could feel good about themselves. He did it because he knows what it's like to sit in a pharmacy parking lot with a sick kid and no options. At 2 p.m., someone sets up a crowdfunding page. Evan finds out from a text. A coworker from the freight company. Bro, people raised $15K for you already. Link in bio. Evan opens it, reads the description. Help Evan Calder, the single dad who gave his last dollar to help others. Let's show him the same kindness. His stomach turns. He didn't ask for this. Didn't want this. This isn't kindness. This is spectacle. He closes the page, doesn't share it, doesn't acknowledge it. At 4 p.m., the reporters finally leave. The street goes quiet. Evan peels back the curtain. The vans are gone. The neighbors go back inside, but the damage is done. His phone keeps buzzing. His name keeps trending. Strangers keep dissecting his choices like they have a right to. At 6 p.m., Micah asks the question Evan's been dreading. Dad, are we going to be okay? Evan looks at his son, 11 years old and already carrying weight no kid should carry. Yeah, Evan says, we're going to be okay. He's not sure if he believes it, but he says it anyway, because sometimes that's all you can do. If someone exposed your hardest moment to the world without asking, how would you feel? Was the attention a blessing or a violation? Drop your answer below. This story isn't over. It's about to get even more intense. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens when help becomes a burden and privacy becomes a luxury Evan can't afford. Share this. Someone out there is one bad day away from being in his shoes. The crowdfunding page hits $50,000 by midnight. Kara sees it on her laptop screen and feels sick. She didn't start the page, doesn't know who did. But her post started the avalanche, and now it's burying a man who never wanted to be dug up. She scrolls through the comments on the fundraiser. This is what humanity looks like. Finally, some good news. He deserves every penny. But scattered between the praise are other voices, quieter, sharper. Did anyone ask if he wants this? Y'all are treating him like a charity case. That's not help, that's humiliation. Kara closes the laptop. It's 12:47 a.m. Amara is asleep. The apartment is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the guilt sitting heavy in Kara's chest. Her phone buzzes. A message from the number that texted her yesterday, the one claiming to be Evan's kid. You still think you helped? Kara stares at the screen, types and deletes 3 responses before settling on, I'm sorry, I didn't know it would go this far. The response comes fast. Everyone's sorry after. Nobody thinks before. Kara sets the phone down, covers her face with her hands. She didn't mean for this. She just wanted people to see the truth, wanted them to stop calling him names. But now the truth has teeth, and it's tearing him apart in a different way. At 7 a.m., she gets a call from the diner owner. Kara, it's Tom. I need you to come in. We need to talk. Her stomach drops. About what? Just come in. She arranges for her neighbor to watch Amara, drives to the diner with her hands gripping the steering wheel too tight. Tom is waiting in his office. Older guy, gray hair, runs the place like it's 1987. He gestures for her to sit. You see what's happening online? He asks. Yeah. You're in the middle of it. Kara nods. Tom leans back in his chair. Bryce is gone. Fired him yesterday. Corporate's doing damage control. We got review bombed. People calling us heartless, saying we exploit workers. I didn't mean for... He holds up a hand. I'm not blaming you. Bryce brought this on himself. But I need to know if you're planning to talk to the press. No. Good, because they've been calling non-stop, asking about workplace conditions, asking about tip policies. This thing's bigger than one video now. Kara shifts in her seat. What do you want me to do? Lay low, let it blow over, and for what it's worth... He pauses. You did the right thing. That man didn't deserve what Bryce did to him. Kara leaves the office feeling worse than when she walked in. At 9 a.m., the local news runs a segment. She watches it on her phone in the parking lot. The anchor's voice is smooth and practiced. The viral story of a single father's secret generosity continues to gain traction online, but some are now questioning whether the attention is helping or hurting. They cut to an interview with someone from the clinic. A woman in scrubs standing outside the building. We've had an overwhelming response, she says. People want to donate, want to help, but we have to respect patient privacy. We can't confirm or deny who made that original donation. The anchor's face reappears. Meanwhile, a crowdfunding page set up for the father has raised over $60,000, but attempts to reach him for comment have been unsuccessful. They show B-roll footage, the apartment building, reporters knocking on doors, neighbors being interviewed. One woman says, "He's a good man, quiet, doesn't bother nobody. I hope he takes the money. Lord knows he needs it." Another man says, "People should leave him alone. He didn't ask for this circus." The segment ends with the anchor's carefully neutral sign-off. A story that started with a $0 tip has become a national conversation about generosity, judgment, and what we owe each other. Kara turns off her phone. At 11 a.m., the internet finds the original pharmacy receipt. Someone enhanced the image, zoomed in, found a transaction number, started digging. A Reddit thread appears. I work in pharmacy tech. That receipt is legit. The timestamp matches, the amount matches. This guy really did donate $200 the same day he couldn't tip. The thread goes viral. News outlets pick it up. Fact-checkers confirm it. The story gains another layer of credibility, and with it, another wave of attention. By 1 p.m., 3 more news vans show up at Evan's building. By 2 p.m., someone leaks his work schedule. By 3 p.m., reporters are waiting outside the freight warehouse. Evan's supervisor calls him. "Calder, you got media at the gate asking for you. What the hell is going on?" Evan is in his truck 2 blocks away. He saw the vans, turned around, didn't even try to clock in. "I don't know," he says. "We'll figure it out. This is a workplace, not a TV studio." The line goes dead. Evan drives aimlessly for 20 minutes. Can't go home, can't go to work, can't go anywhere without someone pointing a camera at him. His phone rings. Unknown number. He lets it go to voicemail. Another call. Another voicemail. He pulls into a gas station parking lot, listens to the messages. The first is from a woman who says she runs a nonprofit. "Mr. Calder, we help families in crisis. We'd love to talk about resources available to you." The second is from a man who says he's a life coach. "Your story is inspiring. I think we could help each other. Call me back." The third is from someone offering to be his agent. "There's money to be made here if you play this right. Book deals, speaking engagements. Let me help you capitalize on this moment." Evan deletes all of them. At 4 p.m., the crowdfunding page hits $75,000. Someone screenshots it, tags him on social media even though he doesn't have an account. The comments are a mix of celebration and suspicion. Why hasn't he claimed the money yet? Maybe he doesn't know about it. Or maybe this whole thing is fake. Don't be dense. The clinic confirmed it. Still, seems weird he's not saying anything. At 5 p.m., a local pastor makes a statement. He posts a video on the church's page, sitting in his office, hands folded. "I've been following this story like many of you. And I want to say something. This man, Evan Calder, didn't do what he did for attention. He did it because he has a good heart. But now that heart is being picked apart by strangers who think they know him. If you want to help, the best thing you can do is pray for him, and then leave him alone." The video gets shared 4,000 times. Half the comments agree, the other half call the pastor judgmental. At 6 p.m., Kara gets another text, same number, Evan's kid. "They won't leave us alone. My dad won't even go to work. This is your fault." Kara's hands shake as she types, "Tell me how to fix it." 3 dots appear. then disappear. No response. At 8 p.m., someone hacks the crowdfunding page, not to steal the money, to post a message. This fund is being shut down. Evan Calder never consented to this. Respect his privacy. The page goes dark. The internet erupts. People demand answers, demand the money be released, demand to know who shut it down. A spokesperson for the platform releases a statement. We are investigating unauthorized access to the campaign. Funds are currently frozen pending verification of the beneficiary's consent. At 10 p.m., Kara's phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her pick up. Hello? A man's voice, quiet, strained. Is this Kara Blythe? Her breath catches. Yes. A pause. This is Evan Calder. The room goes silent. She can hear her own heartbeat. She doesn't know what to say. I need you to do something for me, he says. Anything. Tell them to stop. His voice cracks on the last word. Kara closes her eyes. I'll try. That's not good enough. The line goes dead. She sits in the dark holding her phone, staring at the screen, and for the first time since this started, she realizes the truth. She can't fix this. She can't undo what she started, and the man she tried to help is drowning in a flood she unleashed. Evan stands in the dark kitchen at 2:34 a.m., staring at eviction papers taped to his door. He didn't hear the landlord come by, didn't hear the knock, just found the notice when he went to check if the reporters were gone. Bold letters, legal language, 5 days to vacate. The crowdfunding page had $75,000 before it got shut down. He has 48 hours to come up with 2 months' rent or lose the only home his kids know. The math doesn't work. It never does. His phone sits on the counter, 17 missed calls. 43 unread messages. He hasn't opened any of them since he called Kara Blythe and heard the helplessness in her voice when she said she'd try. Trying doesn't pay rent. Trying doesn't make reporters disappear. Trying doesn't undo the fact that his private shame is now public entertainment. He hears footsteps behind him. Micah. The boy doesn't sleep much anymore. You okay? Micah asks. Evan doesn't turn around. Yeah. You're lying. Evan's jaw tightens. His son is 11 and already knows when adults are breaking. That's not supposed to happen. Kids are supposed to believe their parents have answers. We have to move, Evan says. Flat, matter of fact. Because of the reporters? Because of the rent. Micah is quiet for a moment. What about the money people donated? That's not our money. But they gave it for us. I didn't ask them to. So we're just going to be homeless because you're too proud to accept help? The words hit like a slap. Evan finally turns around. Micah's face is red, fists clenched, tears he's too angry to let fall. It's not about pride, Evan says quietly. Then what is it about? Because from where I'm standing, you'd rather lose everything than let people think you need something. Evan doesn't have an answer. Micah storms back to his room. The door doesn't slam because the hinges are broken. It just scrapes closed. Evan sits at the kitchen table, puts his head in his hands. At 6 a.m., there's a knock at the door. Not reporters this time. He can tell by the rhythm. Gentle, hesitant. He opens it. A woman stands there, late 50s, wearing scrubs, holding a casserole dish covered in foil. Mr. Calder? She smiles, warm but nervous. I'm Denise. I work at the clinic. I just wanted to drop this off. Figured you and your kids could use a hot meal. Evan stares at the dish. You didn't have to do that. I know, but I wanted to. She hands it to him. What you did, donating that money, it meant something. My sister's kid has asthma, no insurance. That fund you contributed to helped her. So this is me saying thank you. She leaves before he can respond. Evan stands in the doorway holding a casserole from a stranger. His throat tightens. He sets it on the counter, doesn't open it, doesn't know if he can accept kindness that comes wrapped in gratitude for something he's still not sure was the right choice. At 8 a.m., his phone rings. He recognizes the number this time. David Ortega, the lawyer who showed up yesterday. Evan answers. Mr. Calder, I'm calling about your eviction notice. Do you have a copy in front of you? How do you know about that? Your landlord posted about it online, said you were using your story to avoid paying rent. Evan's stomach drops. He what? It's on his personal page. He's angry about the media attention, claims you're making him look bad. Evan closes his eyes. Of course. Of course the landlord would weaponize this too. Listen, David continues, I can file a motion to delay the eviction, buy you some time, but I need your permission to represent you. I can't pay you. I told you, pro bono, no cost. Why? David is quiet for a moment. Because I grew up in a house where my dad worked 3 jobs and we still got evicted twice, and nobody helped us. Nobody even noticed. So when I see someone getting torn apart for trying to survive, I want to help. That's it. That's the reason. Evan's throat tightens. I don't want to be someone's charity case. You're not. You're someone who deserves a fair fight. Let me give you that. Evan looks at the eviction notice on his counter, at the casserole from a stranger, at the closed door to Micah's room. Okay, he says quietly. Good. I'll file the paperwork today. At 10 a.m., a news crew catches him leaving the building. He's just trying to take Rowan to a follow-up appointment at the clinic. The same clinic that confirmed his donation. The same clinic that's now crawling with reporters hoping to catch him. A woman with a microphone steps in front of him. Mr. Calder, just one question. How do you respond to people who say you're exploiting your situation for sympathy? Evan stops. Stares at her. I'm not. But you haven't claimed the crowdfunding money. Some people think that's suspicious. I didn't ask for that money. I didn't ask for any of this. So you're saying you don't want help? Rowan tugs on his hand. She's scared. The cameras. The strangers. The noise. Evan picks her up. Walks past the reporter without another word. Behind him, she keeps talking to the camera. As you can see, Evan Calder remains reluctant to engage with the public support that's been offered to him. The question many are asking is why? At noon, someone starts a counter-campaign, a social media post titled, Stop Harassing Evan Calder. It includes screenshots of reporters outside his building, of his landlord's post, of strangers speculating about his motives. The post goes viral in 3 hours. People start calling out the media, start demanding they leave him alone. But the damage is already layered too deep. At 2 p.m., Evan gets a call from his supervisor at the freight company. Calder, we need to talk. Come by the office. Evan drives there with a knot in his stomach. His supervisor, a man named Greg with a gray beard and permanent frown, doesn't waste time. We're letting you go. Evan blinks. What? You've become a distraction. Media's been sniffing around. Customers are asking questions. Corporate doesn't want the headache. I didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't matter. It's an at-will state. We don't need a reason. Evan stares at him. I've worked here for 2 years, never missed a shift, never complained. Greg shrugs. Take it up with HR. Evan walks out, sits in his truck, stares at the steering wheel. No job, no home, no privacy. All because he tried to do one good thing on the worst day of his life. At 4 p.m., the clinic calls. Mr. Calder, this is Susan again. I wanted to let you know that we've received over $30,000 in donations since your story went public. People want to contribute in your name. We'd love to honor that by dedicating a portion of the fund to families in your situation. Would you be willing to... He hangs up. He doesn't want his name on anything. Doesn't want to be a symbol. Doesn't want to be remembered as the man who gave away his last dollar and lost everything because of it. At 6 p.m., an envelope appears under his door. No return address, just his name written in careful handwriting. He opens it. Inside is $500 in cash, a note on plain paper. You helped my family once without knowing it. Let me return the favor. You don't know me. You don't owe me. Just take it. No signature. Evan stares at the bills. His hands shake. He wants to refuse it, wants to slide it back under someone's door and pretend it never happened. But Rowan needs her inhaler refilled. Micah needs new shoes. The electric bill is overdue. He folds the cash, puts it in his wallet, and hates himself a little more. At 8 p.m., Carepa posts again. She's been silent for 2 days, watching the chaos spiral, watching Evan get torn apart from every direction. She can't fix it, but maybe she can redirect it. Her post is simple. No photo, just words. I'm the waitress who posted the note. I thought I was helping. I was wrong. Evan Calder never asked to be a story. He just asked to survive. If you really want to help him, stop treating him like content. Stop making him explain himself. And if you donated to that fund, let him decide if he wants it. Respect is free. Give him that instead. The post gets 20,000 shares in 2 hours. The comments are split. Finally, someone said it. Too late now. The damage is done. She started this mess. She doesn't get to play hero now. At 10 p.m., Evan's phone buzzes. A text from Kara's number. I know I can't fix this, but I'm trying to stop it from getting worse. I'm sorry. For all of it. He reads it 3 times, doesn't respond. Because sorry doesn't pay rent. Sorry doesn't get his job back. Sorry doesn't erase the fact that his kids now know what it feels like to be watched by a world that thinks it has a right to their pain. He turns off his phone, sits in the dark, and wonders if doing the right thing was the worst mistake he ever made. When does help become harm? When does attention become invasion? If you were Evan, would you take the money or refuse it on principle? Drop your answer. The diner goes silent when Kara walks in for her shift Thursday morning. Every server, every cook, every customer nursing coffee at the counter, they all know who she is now, what she did. Some look at her with something like admiration. Others won't make eye contact. She ties her apron, clocks in, pretends the weight of their stares doesn't crush her lungs. Tom meets her by the register, keeps his voice low. Owner's shutting us down for 3 days, he says. Kara's head snaps up. What? Deep cleaning, rebranding, damage control, whatever you want to call it. Corporate's spooked. We reopen Monday with new management. And the staff? Unpaid leave. 3 days without tips. 3 days without money. Kara's jaw tightens, but she doesn't argue. There's no point. She unties her apron, walks out before anyone can say anything else. In the parking lot, her phone buzzes, a notification. Someone tagged her in a post. She opens it. It's a screenshot of a news article. Headline, Diner at Center of Viral Tip Controversy temporarily closes amid backlash. The comments underneath are brutal. Good, they should close permanently. This is what happens when you humiliate your customers. Kara Blythe should be ashamed. She ruined that man's life and cost people their jobs. She closes the app, sits in her car, stares at the steering wheel. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers without thinking. Is this Kara Blythe? Who's asking? My name is Jasmine. I'm a producer for a podcast called Second Chances. We cover stories about people who make mistakes and try to make things right. I'd love to have you on. Kara's stomach turns. I'm not doing interviews. I understand. But your perspective matters. People want to know why you posted that note, what you were thinking, what you'd do differently. I already said what I had to say. One conversation, 30 minutes. We can do it over the phone, no cameras. Kara hangs up, but the calls don't stop. 3 more producers, 2 journalists, a blogger who runs a platform about viral moments. Everyone wants a piece of her story. Nobody wants to leave her alone. At 11 a.m., she picks up Amara from daycare early. Her daughter is confused but doesn't complain. They go to the park, even though it's cold. Amara plays on the swings. Kara sits on a bench and watches. A woman approaches, mid-40s, kind face, hesitant smile. Excuse me, are you Kara? Kara's chest tightens. Yeah. I just wanted to say I think what you did took courage. That man needed someone to stand up for him. Kara doesn't feel courageous. She feels like she lit a match in a room full of gasoline. Thanks, she says anyway. The woman leaves. Kara pulls Amara off the swings and they go home. At 1 p.m., her ex-husband calls. You're all over the news, he says. No greeting, just accusation. I know. People are messaging me asking if I'm related to you. My girlfriend's pissed, says you're making us look bad. Kara laughs. It comes out bitter. I'm making you look bad? You haven't paid child support in 4 months. That's different. How? He doesn't answer, just hangs up. Kara throws her phone across the couch. Amara looks up from her coloring book. You okay, Mama? Kara forces a smile. Yeah, baby, I'm okay. At 3 p.m., the crowdfunding platform releases a statement. After investigation, we have determined that the campaign for Evan Calder was created without his knowledge or consent. Per our terms of service, all funds will be refunded to donors. We apologize for any confusion. The internet explodes again. People are furious, demanding the money go to Evan anyway, arguing that he needs it whether he asked for it or not. Others are relieved, saying this is proof he never wanted the attention. Kara reads the comments until her eyes blur. Then she sees one that stops her cold. His landlord just posted an update. Eviction's moving forward. He's got 48 hours. She clicks the link. The landlord's post is smug, self-righteous. Some people think internet fame gets you out of responsibility. It doesn't. Rent is due or you're out. No exceptions. The comments under his post are vicious. People calling him heartless, threatening to boycott his properties, doxing his business. But the eviction still stands. At 5 p.m., Kara gets a message from the number she now knows belongs to Micah. We're packing. Dad won't take the money, won't take help, won't do anything but pretend this isn't happening. I hope you're happy. Kara types fast. Where will you go? No response. She tries again. Please, let me help. 3 dots. Then, you've helped enough. At 7 p.m., Bryce Harlan posts for the first time since getting fired. Y'all really out here acting like I'm the villain? I posted a video. That's it. Kara Blythe is the one who turned a broke dude into a circus act. But sure, blame me. The post gets traction. People who were angry at him now redirect some of that anger at Kara. She had good intentions, but this got out of hand. Posting someone's private note without permission is messed up. They're both wrong. Let's be honest. Kara doesn't respond, doesn't engage, just watches her mentions fill with strangers debating her character. At 9 p.m., she drives to Evan's apartment. She doesn't know what she's going to say, doesn't know if he'll even open the door. But she has to try. The building is quiet. No news vans. No reporters, just the hum of streetlights and distant traffic. She climbs the stairs, finds his door. The eviction notice is still taped there. Bold letters, final warning. She knocks, footsteps inside, a pause. Then the door opens a crack. Micah, not Evan. The boy looks older than 11, tired, guarded. What do you want? He asks. I want to talk to your dad. He doesn't want to talk to you. I know, but I need to apologize, face to face. Micah stares at her, then steps back, opens the door wider. Evan is standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, face unreadable. Kara steps inside. The apartment is small, clean but worn. Boxes stacked in the corner, half-packed. I'm sorry, she says, voice shaking. I thought I was helping. I thought if people knew the truth, they'd stop judging you. But I didn't think about what it would cost you. I didn't ask permission. I didn't think past my own anger. And now you're losing your home and your job and your privacy, and it's my fault. Evan doesn't move, doesn't speak. Kara keeps going. I can't undo it. I can't make them stop talking. But if there's anything I can do to help you now, I will. I'll testify. I'll call the landlord. I'll do whatever you need. Evan's jaw tightens. You want to help? Yes. Then stop. Kara blinks. What? Stop trying to fix this. Stop posting. Stop defending me. Stop making this bigger than it already is. His voice is low, controlled, but there's pain underneath. I didn't ask to be your redemption story. The words hit like a punch. Kara nods, swallows hard. Okay. She turns to leave. Wait, Evan says. She stops. He's quiet for a long moment. Then, the note. Did you mean it when you said you wanted people to see the truth? Yes. Then tell them one more thing. What? Evan looks at his kids. At Rowan sitting on the couch clutching her inhaler. At Micah standing stiff and silent by the door. Tell them the truth isn't always kind, and help isn't always helpful. Tell them I don't need their money. I need them to stop treating my life like a lesson they get to learn from. Kara's throat closes. She nods. Then she leaves. Outside, she sits in her car, pulls out her phone, opens social media, types one final post. Evan Calder doesn't owe you his gratitude. He doesn't owe you his story. He doesn't owe you anything. If you really want to help people like him, stop turning their worst days into content. Stop demanding they perform their pain so you can feel good about witnessing it. Respect costs nothing. Start there. She posts it, turns off her phone, and drives home in silence. At 11 p.m., Evan sits on the floor of his empty living room. Boxes packed, lease ending, no plan. His phone buzzes, one last notification before he turns it off for good. A text from David Ortega. Judge granted a 30-day extension. You're not getting evicted tomorrow. I'll explain more in the morning. Get some sleep. Evan reads it twice. Then he closes his eyes, and for the first time in days, he breathes. 3 weeks later, Evan stands in line at a different pharmacy across town. No reporters, no cameras, just fluorescent lights and the hum of a cooler stocked with energy drinks. Rowan holds his hand. Her breathing is steady. The inhaler from the neighbor finally ran out, but this time, Evan has a plan. David Ortega connected him with a clinic that operates on sliding scale payments, $20 for the refill. Evan has $23 in his wallet. The pharmacist hands him the bag, smiles, doesn't recognize him. That's all he wanted, to be nobody again. Outside, Micah is waiting by the truck. He got into a fight at school last week. Some kid called their family charity cases. Micah broke the kid's nose, got suspended for 3 days. Evan didn't yell, just drove him home in silence and made him dinner. Sometimes survival looks like letting your kid be angry. They drive back to the motel on Route 9. It's not home, won't ever be home, but it's a roof and it's paid through the end of the month thanks to the extension David bought them. After that, Evan doesn't know. He got a new job, night shift at a warehouse 30 minutes south. Pays $2 more an hour than the freight company. The supervisor doesn't care about his name or his face or what happened on the internet, just cares if he shows up on time. Evan plans to show up every single night. Inside the motel room, Rowan sprawls on one of the twin beds watching cartoons on a tablet a teacher lent them. Micah does homework at the small table. Evan unpacks the inhaler, sets it on the nightstand. His phone buzzes. He almost ignores it, but the number is familiar. Cara Blythe. He hesitates, then opens the message. I know you told me to stop, but I thought you should know. The diner reopened. New manager. They fired Tom too. Said he should have handled Bryce better. I got my job back, but it doesn't feel right. Anyway, I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted you to know I'm still thinking about what you said. Hope you and your kids are okay. Evan reads it twice. Doesn't respond, but he doesn't delete it either. At the diner, Kara wipes down table 7 for the 4th time that shift. New manager's name is Pauline. Older woman, no nonsense. Watches the servers like a hawk but doesn't humiliate them. It's an improvement, barely. The tips are slower since they reopened. People remember the controversy. Some avoid the place. Others come specifically because of it, hoping to see Kara, hoping for a story they can tell their friends. She gives them nothing. Just coffee, pancakes, a polite smile that doesn't reach her eyes. A man at table 4 leaves a $50 tip on a $12 check, writes on the receipt, for doing the right thing. Kara stares at it, pockets the money because she needs it, but it feels like blood money. After her shift, she picks up Amara from daycare. Her daughter talks the whole drive home about a boy who shared his crayons and a girl who said her shoes were pretty. Kara listens, nods, tries to focus on the small good things. At home, she makes spaghetti. They eat on the couch watching a cartoon about talking animals. Amara falls asleep halfway through. Kara carries her to bed, tucks her in, kisses her forehead. Then she sits at the kitchen table with her laptop, opens social media, scrolls through her mentions. Most of the fire has died down, moved on to the next viral moment, the next scandal, the next stranger's life dissected for entertainment. But some people still send messages. You destroyed that man's life. You're a hero for exposing the truth. I hope you learned your lesson. Kara closes the laptop. She did learn. But not the lesson people think. She learned that truth without permission is violence, that exposure without consent is cruelty, that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is nothing at all. 4 months later, Evan signs a lease. It's a small house, 2 bedrooms, needs work. The landlord is an older man who doesn't use the internet and doesn't care about viral stories, just cares about first month's rent and a security deposit. Evan saved every penny from the warehouse job. David helped him navigate tenant rights and negotiate terms. The extension bought him time. Time bought him options. Rowan picks the bedroom with the window facing the backyard. Micah takes the one near the bathroom. Evan sleeps on the couch. It's not much, but it's theirs. On move-in day, Denise from the clinic shows up with another casserole. This time Evan accepts it. thanks her, invites her in for coffee. She stays for 20 minutes. Doesn't ask about the video, doesn't mention the donations, just talks about her sister's kid and the weather and whether the neighborhood has a decent pizza place. When she leaves, Evan feels something strange. Normal. That night, Micah asks if they can get a dog. Evan says maybe, when they're more settled, when he's sure they won't have to move again. Micah nods, doesn't push. He's learned patience the hard way. Rowan asks if she can invite a friend over. Evan says yes, because kids shouldn't have to hide. At the diner, Kara trains a new server. Girl's 19, fresh out of high school, needs the money for community college. Kara shows her how to balance plates, how to read a table, how to smile even when you're exhausted. What if someone doesn't tip? The girl asks. Kara pauses, thinks about a man with cracked hands and 2 kids and a choice nobody should have to make. Then you let it go, Kara says, because you don't know their story, and it's not your job to judge it. The girl nods. Kara finishes her shift, drives home, puts Amara to bed. Then she sits at the kitchen table and pulls out a notebook. She's been writing. Not for the internet, not for anyone else, just for herself, trying to make sense of what happened, trying to understand the difference between helping and hurting, trying to figure out how to live with the fact that good intentions can still destroy. She writes until her hand cramps. Then she closes the notebook. Tomorrow she'll wake up, go to work, pour coffee, collect tips, try to be a little more careful, a little more kind, a little more aware that every person sitting at her table is carrying something she'll never see. 6 months after the video, someone recognizes Evan at a gas station. Hey, aren't you the guy from that viral thing? Evan looks up. The man is younger, eager, holding his phone like he might ask for a photo. Evan shakes his head. Nope, not me. You sure? You look just like, I'm sure. The man shrugs, walks away. Evan finishes pumping gas, gets back in his truck, drives home. Rowan and Micah are waiting. They made dinner, burnt grilled cheese and soup from a can. It's perfect. They eat together, talk about school, about work, about nothing important. And for the first time in a long time, Evan feels like he's not drowning. He's not wealthy, not secure, not safe from the next disaster. But he's here, and his kids are breathing. And that's enough. 1 year later, Kara sees him. She's at a park with Amara. He's at the same park with Rowan. Their daughters are playing on the same jungle gym. They lock eyes across the playground. For a moment, neither moves. Then Evan nods. Once, small, almost imperceptible. Kara nods back. No words, no apology, no explanation. Just 2 people who survived the same fire and came out scarred. After a few minutes, Evan calls Rowan. They leave. Kara watches them go, watches the way he holds his daughter's hand, the way Rowan skips beside him, the way they disappear around the corner like any other family on any other day. And Kara thinks maybe that's the real ending. Not forgiveness, not redemption, not some grand reconciliation, just 2 broken people moving forward, separately, quietly, carrying what they learned in the ruins. The notification appears on Kara's phone 18 months after everything started. Someone shared the original video again, a nostalgia account. Remember this story? The comments are different now, distant, detached. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Whatever happened to that guy? Pretty sure it was fake anyway. Kara scrolls past it, doesn't engage, doesn't correct them. The truth is, most people forgot, moved on to the next viral moment, the next outrage, the next stranger's tragedy turned into content. That's how the internet works. It devours and forgets. But Evan didn't forget, neither did Kara. They carry it differently now, not as an open wound, more like a scar that aches when the weather changes. Evan still works nights at the warehouse, got promoted to supervisor 6 months ago. The pay is better. Enough to cover rent and groceries and the occasional trip to the movies with his kids. Rowan is 10 now. Plays soccer, her asthma is managed. The inhaler sits in her backpack like any other school supply. Micah is 13, moody, sarcastic, normal teenage stuff. He doesn't talk about the video anymore, doesn't mention the reporters or the eviction or the nights they spent in a motel wondering where they'd go next. But sometimes Evan catches him staring at nothing, lost in a memory he's too young to carry. Evan doesn't push, just stays close, stays present, reminds his son that they made it. At the diner, Kara is assistant manager now. Pauline retired, handed Kara the keys and said, "Don't screw it up." Kara runs the place differently, pays her servers fairly, doesn't tolerate harassment, doesn't shame anyone for struggling. She remembers what it felt like to judge someone for leaving no tip, remembers what it cost. A man comes in one Tuesday morning, orders the cheapest thing on the menu, splits it with his kid, pays exact change, leaves no tip. The new server rolls her eyes. "Seriously?" Kara puts a hand on her shoulder. "Let it go." "But, let it go." The server huffs but doesn't argue. After they leave, Kara clears the table, finds a note folded under the plate. Her heart stops, but it's not the same. Different handwriting, different story. "Thank you for the warm space. My daughter needed it today." Kara folds the note, slips it in her pocket. She doesn't post it, doesn't share it, doesn't turn it into content, just keeps it. A reminder that kindness doesn't always look like money. Sometimes it looks like silence. 2 years after the video, Evan gets a letter. It's from the clinic, an invitation to a fundraiser. They're naming a scholarship after anonymous donors who contributed to the medication fund. He almost throws it away. But Rowan sees it, asks what it is. Evan hesitates, then tells her the truth. About the $200, about the donation, about the choice he made that changed everything. Rowan listens, quiet, thoughtful. "Do you regret it?" she asks. Evan thinks for a long time. "I regret what came after, but not the choice." "Why?" "Because some kid got medicine because of it, and that mattered, even if everything else was a mess." Rowan nods, doesn't say anything else. But that night, she hugs him a little tighter. The fundraiser happens without him. He doesn't attend, doesn't want the attention. But he donates again, $20 this time, anonymous, quiet, because that's who he is, not a hero, not a victim, just a man trying to survive and help where he can, even when it costs him. Kara hears about the fundraiser too, sees a post from the clinic thanking their supporters. She wonders if Evan was there, wonders if he's okay, wonders if he ever thinks about that morning in the diner. She'll never know. And that's okay. Some stories don't need endings, they just need space to breathe. 3 years later, Amara asks Kara a question. "Mama, did you ever do something you thought was right, but it turned out wrong?" Kara looks at her daughter, 9 years old, too smart for her own good. "Yeah," Kara says, "I did." "What happened?" "I hurt someone I was trying to help." "Did you say sorry?" "I tried, but sorry doesn't always fix things." Amara thinks about this. "So what do you do?" Kara takes a breath. "You learn, and you do better next time." Amara nods, satisfied. Kara wishes it were that simple, but she's trying, every day, to be better, to listen more, to judge less, to remember that every person sitting at her table is fighting a battle she'll never see. 5 years after the video, Evan runs into Kara again, not at a park this time, at a grocery store, late evening, both of them tired from long shifts. Their carts almost collide in the cereal aisle. They stop, stare. For a moment, neither speaks. Then Evan says, "How are you?" Kara exhales. "I'm okay. You?" "Same." Silence, not uncomfortable, just heavy. "I'm sorry," Kara says, quieter this time. "I know I already said it, but I mean it, every day." Evan nods. "I know. Are your kids okay?" "Yeah, they're good." "Yours?" "She's good too." Another pause. "I hope—" Kara stops, starts again. "I hope things got easier." Evan's jaw tightens, then softens. "They did, eventually." Kara nods, blinks back something that might be tears. "Take care of yourself," Evan says. "You too." They move past each other, separate aisles, separate lives, but for a moment they were two people who survived the same storm. And that's enough. Years later, someone will ask Kara what she learned from that viral moment. She'll think for a long time. Then she'll say that the people you think you're helping don't always need saving. Sometimes they just need space and respect and the dignity to struggle without an audience. Someone will ask Evan what he'd say to the people who wanted to help him. He'll shrug. Bet I appreciated the thought. But help isn't always what you think it is. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is leave them alone. The video still exists somewhere, buried in the algorithm, forgotten by most. But the lesson remains. Not every story needs to be told. Not every struggle needs to be shared. Not every zero means nothing. Sometimes the most important things happen in silence, between a man and his conscience, between a choice and its consequence, between a stranger's judgment and the truth they'll never see. Evan Calder left a $0 tip, but he left something far more valuable. A reminder that you never really know what someone's carrying, and the least you can do is not make it heavier. What's the last assumption you made about a stranger that turned out to be completely wrong? This story is over, but the lesson lives on. If it made you think twice about judgment, subscribe so you never miss another story that challenges how you see the world. Drop your thoughts below. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because somewhere out there, someone is carrying more than you'll ever know, and your kindness or your silence might be exactly what they need.